for all of the goddesses out there. And don't worry if you don't think you're a goddess, because everyone has an inner goddess. So technically this song is also for you. I know what's behind that smile. I know you're tired. You spend your life trying to be everything to everyone. And I know that look in your eyes, 'cause I've seen it in the mirror 1,000 times. That's the face of a woman who doesn't understand how much she's loved. And then the TV tells me I should be like her, achieve like her, to earn the affection I so desperately need. But the people who love me best don't expect me to save the world. No, they regard me as a goddess, and they always give me love for free. And they say, you are what you are, and that's all you'll ever need. Fierce like a warrior, and soft as a sunbeam, and everything you've ever been, and everything you'll ever be is holy, 'cause you are a goddess, baby. It's hard enough to be just me, rule my world from a place of reverie, forgive myself unconditionally and learn from my mistakes. And then the movies tell me I should look like her and laugh like her. If I'm a quiet beauty, all will surely fall in love with me. But the people who love me best like the way I laugh, and they don't care what I wear. They'd rather see me loud and proud than stay polite and pretty. And they say, you are what you are, and that's all you ever need. Fierce like a warrior, and soft as a sunbeam, and everything you've ever been, everything you'll ever be is holy, 'cause you are a goddess, baby. You are the sun and the moon, you are the earth and the sky. You are the one who answers the prayers that you're laying down late at night. You are the undefinable, and the one who is desperate to define. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are the love of your life. You are what you are. That's all you ever need. Strong like a warrior, as soft as a sunbeam, and everything you've ever been, and everything you'll ever be is holy, 'cause you are holy, and your life is holy, and your days are holy, and your mind is holy, and your body is holy, and your tears are holy, and your laugh is holy, and your love is holy. You are a goddess, baby. You are, you are, you are, you are a goddess, baby. It's true. You are a goddess, baby.
Good morning, One Love. Welcome. Welcome. What a beautiful day it is. We're enjoying this weather. I know that there are some, though, especially Tennessee and Alabama, who experienced some storms yesterday and I think part of Friday. So obviously we hold you in prayer and in love for anyone who was affected, especially directly by the storms. We're enjoying just a little bit of breeze and sunny and 75, baby, here in Bel Air, Florida, St. Pete area, Tampa Bay area. And I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you to Jesse Powers for sharing our music today. Don't forget to support Jesse Powers. She has a wonderful Patreon page. She's asking for people to consider being partners with her really as little as $1, but $5, $10 a month. You'd be surprised at how much that can affect a traveling artist. As we listen, speaking of traveling, as we listen to the helicopter going overhead, you'd be surprised at what that can do to help support a traveling artist. And we have really adopted Jessie as a part of our community, One Love and First Unity Spiritual Campus. To me, she is just one of the best artists there is in the music business, but certainly my personal favorite New Thought musical artist. Great songwriter, wonderful heart. So consider supporting her. We're in this season of Keys to the Kingdom. I like to say Keys to the Kingdom / Queendom. This is part 3. And I really started before we got into the book study. And if you're not a part of the book study, consider being a part of the book study. But we are going to be covering a lot of the subject matter as well on Sundays, and making sure that we're kind of tying some loose ends up. Just some commentary I'd like to share with you. Not necessarily by the book. I have read the book and enjoy that. I enjoy myself just sort of diving in deep to what the kingdom and the queendom means to me, what keys mean to me. And to me, keys are something that obviously we use to unlock doors, unlock truths. In my Father's house, Jesus said, are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you, and then I'll come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. That was preached all of my life, where Jesus was essentially talking about heaven off in the sky and the sweet by and by. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what Jesus was talking about. I don't believe that Jesus was saying that you had to go somewhere in order to attain this, other than going within. But there's no geographical place. You're not going to need a map for it. There's no GPS for this inner place and going deep within your own self. But notice that Jesus says that I give you the keys to the kingdom, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And I really believe that is a higher metaphorical way of saying that if you are affirming and confirming, and you're committing to a particular way of being in the world, you're making decisions and making choices. When you make a confession, when you start to affirm whatever it is that you're affirming and confirming in the earth, it's also going to be confirmed and affirmed in the heavens. And as I confirm and affirm with my mouth and with my actions what it is that I'm intending to see, or what I'm declaring with my mouth, is going to become what I see in the world. And so it's important for us to be mindful of what it is we're saying to ourselves, what we're saying about the world, what we're saying about ourselves, what it is we really think about ourselves. This is all about introspection, going within so that you don't have to go without, locating the power of the divine that is within you, really cultivating and nurturing a very close and intimate relationship with the highest power, with the source of all things, so that you can start to become an active resource. The Spirit of God is always moving on the earth, which means it's moving on us. We are of the earth. This vessel that we have is an earth capsule, if you will. It's the skin suit that we're using to walk around this planet. And the earth is the Lord's, universal laws, and the fullness thereof, and all that dwell within it. Everything that is in the planet is as a result of the manifesting power, the creative power of the source, and we are all connected irrevocably and eternally to that divine force. And so knowing that is what's important, being aware that nothing can separate us from God, because we are of that same source. Neither height nor depth, nor width, nor principalities or powers enthroned in high places, nothing can separate us from the love that is God. 1 John 4:8 says that God is love. Now, I'm using a lot of scripture verses today. Hang tight. This is leading somewhere. The first part of the keys to the kingdom is this idea of making the commitment. So make the commitment. And commitment is a deliberate, it is a intentional choice to stick to something. It's a significant thing because it's signifying faithfulness. It's signifying a sense of loyalty, a sense of responsibility. And one of the lines I believe that's shared in the Keys to the Kingdom, it says, the world was not given to you, you were given to the world, because you are a giver of life rather than one that life has been handed to. You are actually a giver of life. As we preach and speak and have affirmed more than one time, we are creative beings. You are a creator. You're not just one who has been created. So when you realize that you are a creator yourself, that you are of that same creative force that called everything into being, you can learn to and decide to commit to step into the natural flow of abundance. But you do that by committing yourself to becoming the full embodiment of a giver of life. This is why Jesus could say, behold, I make all things new. He was teaching us to follow that example, to recognize the power that we have. And so you are a creative being, not just a created being. And you bring meaning and purpose into life. You are the one who brings meaning and purpose into life. Life, I don't think, has a prepackaged meaning or some kind of a grand purpose specifically designed for you as an individual. Instead, I believe the truth is that we have the ability to create and to bring our own meaning to life. People have asked me before, what does life mean, or what is the meaning of life? I don't think life has necessarily meaning. It has a rhythm, it has a certain movement to it, but you're the one who brings meaning to life. Pat yourself on the chest and say, I bring meaning to my life. I decide what's sacred. I decide what's holy. I'm making that decision. The altar for holiness, the altar for sacredness is within me. And I'm the one who is authoring and finishing my faith journey in this existence. I have been given that power to do so. It's in your hands to shape your experiences. It's in your hands and in your creative ability to find significance in your journey. Remember, you have access to that deeper creative force that is within you, that source of inspiration. You have access to it all the time. And that source, that creative deeper force that's within you can help you to carve out your own path and give life the meaning that you seek. Someone said to me not too long ago, and I mentioned this Wednesday night, that you know you're on the right path when the path disappears. In other words, it's not as apparent before you. And I'll tell you why I see that way. And I think I said this Wednesday night, but I want to reiterate this, that if you're on a perfectly paved pathway, even a gravel pathway, or you're on a pathway that's clear, then that means somebody else is the one who blazed that trail. And there is a power that's been given to you to be the creative force in your life. You don't have to seek out meaning. You bring the meaning to life. And then there's the power of decision. There's a scripture in the Bible, and I've retranslated this a little bit, but it basically says, test me now in this. In other words, when I'm committing to giving, I'm committing to, we've talked about the word tithing, time, talent, and treasure. Tithing, time, talent, and treasure. The word tithe means 10%. I am not saying that that's what you necessarily have to do. In fact, you shouldn't live a have-to life. But I am saying that it's important for you to commit. If you're going to do it, it's important for you to commit to it. But God actually says in the book of Malachi, test me now in this, says universal law. See if I will not open up the windows of heaven and pour out for you so great a blessing until there'll be no room left for you to receive it. So when you start to make the decision, you understand that your decision will determine your precision. And that precision can open up all provisions. Your decision will determine your precision, the precision with which you're doing life, but that precision and decision together will open up all of the provisions of the divine. You'll have access to all of the benefits that are available to you. The meaning of the word precision is the quality, the condition, or the fact of being exact or accurate. And so I'm saying to us, let's get decisive. Let's commit to living at the higher level. Let's decide that we're not going to continue to be victims of circumstance, that we're not going to be victims of our environment, that we're not going to allow ourselves to continue to be victimized by the false facade of an economy in the United States or even in the world, that we realize we've tapped into the divine economy, that we have access to this spirit that is within us that is never in absence from us. So when I'm talking about decision and precision and provision, I'm saying let's be exact. Let's be accurate about our declaration and our determination of what it is we want. See, we have all of these beautiful things available to us, and many of us miss them because we're not being accurate. We're not making a declaration to the universe what it is that we really want. The moment you make a decision, everything necessary to fulfill that commitment, to fulfill that decision will start to happen in your life. But until you make a decision, until you commit, your mind doesn't know what to do with you or for you. Seriously, your mind and the universe and the angels that are in the heavenly host that want to help bring this goodness into your life, they don't know what to do with you or for you. When you make the decision, though, you then lead your whole being in the direction with precision. And then the heavens open up with provision for your life. The only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to become. The only life that you are destined to live is the life you decide to live. So make your choice and make it with confidence. For the decision is a precise, sharp knife that slices through uncertainty. It slices through it with clarity and with purpose. But in contrast, indecision is a dull blade that struggles to cut, and it creates chaos. And it leaves behind a messy, unresolved set of consequences, cons and sequence. So when you embrace the power of a decisive action, that's the key to forging a clear pathway forward instead of having a jumbled up mess. Because indecision is a dull blade, but decision is a precise, sharp blade. It reminds me of what the Bible even says about the Word of God is a double-edged sword. And it is able to be so precise that it can separate the marrow from the bone. And that's talking about a surgical device. It's not suggesting that you do that. It's talking about it's so precise that it can separate what seems to be dense and forever attached. It gives you the ability to be precise in your life, to bring clarity to your life, and then abundance starts to flow to you naturally. And we say this all the time, abundance is my nature. You see, the great spiritual masters throughout all of the ages, they have always taught us that life is naturally abundant. Lack, limitation, and poverty, they may be facts in our material world, but the greater truth is universal good and universal plenty. I believe that came from the Keys to the Kingdom book as well, that idea that we may see lack and limitation and poverty in the world, and those may be facts, but the higher truth is the universal truth, and it's universal good and plenty. You see, to the enlightened mind, abundance is a spiritual reality. It's not just a possibility or a probability, it is the reality. And it can never be altered. It can never be stifled by human circumstances in the grand scheme of things. But in my life, if I don't change my insight, I won't change my eyesight. And if I don't change what I envision, then if I'm envisioning lack and limitation and not enoughness, what I envision, I will eventually outpicture. So we need to understand that this universal law that's in place cannot be altered by human circumstances, but it can be altered by my belief or my lack thereof. The insight that I think many of us lack is a deep understanding that God is the one and only source of all of our good, all of the power, all of the potential, all of the intelligence, the wisdom, all forms and energy in the universe. And they're all a manifestation of that one infinite God power, that source. Everything belongs to God and comes from God, and all good things flow down from that higher power, that pure presence, that source. You see, when we come to understand, like fully understand, embody, and embrace this supreme truth, and we place our absolute faith in the one source above everything else, we have the keys to unlocking unlimited, boundless abundance into our own life. We start to bring that limitless possibility into our own life. Quite possibly what Yeshua ben Joseph meant when he said, the kingdom of God is at hand, it's touchable, it is available to you, it's tangible, you can access it. And as you access it, now you can process that through your entire life and create a whole life change. When we understand that God is the source of all things, and that presence lives within us, we start accessing that power. And all of that power offers to us. We then start to release all of the benefits of the infinite supply into our lives. Can you allow yourself to believe this? Can you allow yourself to become aware of this power that's within you, knowing that God is our source, the source of all good, the source of everything created and yet to be created? That if we realize that, we understand it, it becomes a habitual practice in our life. We release all of the benefits of that infinite supply into our lives. St. Paul, writing his letter to the churches in Ephesus, said, "Now to the one who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond all that we ask or imagine or think, according to the power that works in us." Now, Paul wrote it and said, "Now to he who is able to do abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that's working in us." Waking that up, recognizing and giving praise, giving glory, giving honor. What are we doing when we're doing that? We're lifting it up. We're causing it to stir up. We're stirring up the gift that is already within us. You see, we need to understand what true abundance is, because many of us have associated abundance with bank accounts and with money. But abundance goes beyond just having a hefty bank account or a high-paying job or a job of importance and power. Money is just a way for us to visualize in material form and experience the flow of universal energy in our lives of abundance. True abundance encompasses spiritual richness. Remember, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So true abundance encompasses spiritual richness in all of its forms. That includes your health, your happiness, your peace, your love, your fulfillment, and all of the endless possibilities. See, at its core, true, real abundance is about having the power to meet all of your needs, but also to turn all of your dreams into manifested reality. That's what true abundance is. It's the power to meet all of your needs, but also to manifest your dreams into reality. Living, practicing, engaging in a life that embodies true abundance means striving for a deeper understanding of God and our own spiritual essence, the truth of who we really are. Chasing money, chasing after material possessions for their own sake is not going to lead you to a greater insight of the truth of what abundance really is. In fact, when you're chasing money, you're chasing it away from you because money wants to serve the purposes of your life. It wants to partner with you to make those things possible. And when you chase it, it's not sure why you're running at it. In fact, the more we focus on sharing, on trusting in life, on loving ourselves, and letting go of unhealthy attachments to things, the more we open ourselves up to genuine spiritual freedom and genuine abundance. Instead of chasing money and chasing material status or material things, go within and find that wellspring that never runs dry. And you open yourself up to genuine spiritual freedom and abundance. And then the rest of these things. What does it say? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. What really matters in this whole kingdom series is our intentions and our motivations. Let's not get the cart in front of the horse. When we focus on connecting with the Spirit, becoming intimately engaged with the higher self and the source of all things, we open ourselves up to a whole world of possibilities. Because the Spirit is the endless source of all good in our life. This idea or understanding of true abundance, I believe, is central to the message of Jesus. It's central to our message as First Unity. Jesus' message is all about empowering us as individuals, embracing unconditional love. That's the first and foremost thing, embracing unconditional love, understanding spiritual principles, and recognizing the infinite possibilities that this beautiful life offers us every single day. Here's what Jesus shared with his disciples. He shared with his disciples the truth of discovering the kingdom of God that is within you and seeking that first. And everything else starts to line up. Now, some people will say, I know that a part of abundance and prosperity is money. People think that the word money is dirty. It's not. It's literally just something that we have made up as human beings to make exchanges for goods and some not so goods. It's an energy, and it's a way to visualize the circulation of abundance. But the true nature of money is really what we need to come to understand, and our relationship to money. And although true abundance encompasses good in all of its forms in every area of life, most of us equate abundance primarily with money. Now, this attitude is natural. This way of seeing it is natural, since we live in a society that often views money as the ultimate source of power, the source of possibility and happiness. But I want, in order for us to move into a higher consciousness of true abundance, we need to have a higher understanding of what money really is and its proper spiritual role in our life. Money alone does not have power. It doesn't have power over your happiness. It doesn't have power over your success. It is your attitude, your beliefs about money that hold the true secret to happiness. When money is rightly understood, when we clearly understand it, we understand that it's a symbol of value. It's a medium of exchange that we have agreed upon. As we earn it, we exchange it for the goods and for the services that we require to live and to function in this world. But we seldom think of what happens to our money after we have spent it. Its flow through our lives is just a small segment of its greater journey. After it leaves our hands, the money we have earned and spent continues its circulation throughout the economy of the world, being earned and spent many times over and over again. Its value, though, depends on this continued circulation and our continued belief in its value. These facts, to me, reveal a greater truth about the nature of money. It's seen from a higher perspective. Money is a material manifestation. It's a symbol of the flow of divine energy through our lives. Money is really, according to even this book study, God in action, because it's the medium that we use to create and express the good we desire in our lives. So we're going to create during this season an accurate and a clear relationship with money from the understanding that everything I need has already been supplied. But I want this to circulate from my life and into other people's life, and I want it to continue to circulate and create more and more abundance. Everything I need has been supplied. Let me share this with you. This is something that has become so clear to me, and I've been meditating on this to make this a habitual way that I live. I want to make these statements over this next few minutes because I want to free us from the idolatry of money, from the idolatry of prosperity, from the idolatry of success in the way that we have perceived it to be. And I want to return us to this clear fact. You already are everything. The universe isn't something outside of you. It is you. When you stop trying to get what you want and you realize that you already are what you want, then everything that the universe has available comes into your life. And when you do that, the universe cannot help but reflect that back to you. Look at it this way. The universe, the galaxy, life itself is like a mirror. If you smile, it smiles. If you frown, it frowns. The mirror it's neutral. It doesn't decide how to reflect you. It simply reflects what you are. The creative power of the divine is neutral. The creative power and the circulation power of money is neutral. You decide how you'll use it or not use it. You decide. The relationship that you're going to have with success and prosperity is your decision, because that power is in the universe, but it is a neutral power, and we decide what we're going to do with it. It's just like your car. Your car is neutral. The power that it has is neutral. You're the one who decides to put it in drive and which direction you'll drive it. And it's not going to stop you. Some of them, they put some safety things on them now, but it's not going to stop you from driving it off a bridge. That's a power you wield. That's a power you determine. And the same is true for the creative power of God that is in you. You can use it for good or for evil. That is your choice. You'll pay the price or you'll receive the dividends based on what you choose to do with it. But the power is yours. The universe is not something outside of you. The power of God is not something outside of you. It is you expressing itself in the unique form that you are. So be what you want. Instead of saying, someday I'll be happy, declare, I am happy now. Instead of saying, someday I'll have all the money I need and I want, say, I have all of the money I need and I want right now. I am successful now. I am healthy now. I am prosperous now. In all aspects of my life, I am prosperous now. You see, the universe is within you, waiting for you to make that decision and make that commitment and make that declaration over your life. The same energy that runs through the stars runs through you. The very same intelligence that orchestrates the seasons is alive in you. You're not just a drop in the vast ocean. You are the vast ocean in a drop. The universe lacks nothing, and neither do you. In fact, say that if you will aloud. The universe lacks nothing, and neither do I. One more time. The universe lacks nothing, and neither do I. And again, the universe lacks nothing, neither do I. As we're in this series and in this season, I'm asking us to, quite possibly for the first time in our life, really start using the power that's been given to us. Make the decision and make the commitment over these next several weeks that you're going to literally begin to use the keys to the kingdom, that you're going to really begin to trust God with your time, talent, and your treasure, that you're going to be decisive, because when you make the decision, you will be given the precision, which is accuracy, and then you will open up all of the provisions for your life. But make the commitment, decide to tithe your time, your talent, and your treasure. Now, here's where I want to lead with this, and I'll end with this. Time. I'm asking you to start tithing your time. And here's one thing that I think people may miss. Sometimes you think tithing your time is working at a soup kitchen, or working with underprivileged children, or giving time to your church. And maybe that's some of it. But I'm asking you, if you are awake 16 hours a day, some people are awake longer, some people don't sleep 8 hours a day. If you're awake, let's just say though, 16 hours a day, when's the last time you gave an hour and a half to meditation, to prayer, to affirmation? When's the last time that you gave an hour and a half? Maybe it's 45 minutes in the morning and 45 minutes in the evening to meditating, taking care of your mental and emotional health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. What if you took 15 minutes in the morning to meditate, another 15 minutes to affirm, to listen to affirmations, to rewire and refire your brain through changing the way you're communicating and talking? 15 minutes. Let's break it up this way. 15 minutes to meditate, and then 15 minutes to contemplate affirmations, the good that you want to speak into your life, and then 15 minutes of exercise for your physical body. What if in the evening you did the same thing? Because that's 45 minutes in the morning. You did the same thing again. 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of contemplation, and 15 minutes of stretching, maybe a breathing exercise, something that brings you into relaxation. And I would suggest that that final 45 minutes be before you go to bed. And that maybe you reverse it. Maybe you start with some easy breathing and stretching, and then you go 15 minutes of affirmations and confirmations, and you instead of ruminating on what you didn't like about today, start to ruminate on what it is you want to manifest tomorrow or through the night of sleeping. And then you ended that time with meditation as you start to go off to sleep. So what if you tithed your time to really care for yourself emotionally, spiritually, and physically? And then what if you tithed your money? What if you said, I'm going to give, if I make $500, I'm going to give $50 to my church, or I'm going to give $50 to a ministry that's feeding me? What if you tested God in this? This is what it says in the book of Malachi. Try me in this, prove me in this, and see if I won't open up for you the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings more than you can contain. Just try me in this. So what if you decided to tithe 10% just for this 7-week, 8-week period? If it doesn't work, stop doing it. But what if you tithe your time, your talent, and your treasure during this season, and you really determined that you were going to dedicate and commit yourself to doing this work and allowing the kingdom, the keys to the kingdom, to unlock all of the blessings for your life? I'm just saying, consider it. Try it. If it doesn't work, again, stop doing it. But let me just say this. If you will commit to doing it, if you'll commit to giving, putting the money in circulation, because that's where it has the power, more money is going to come to you than you even expected to show up. When you start to dedicate time and tithe time to your spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being, what you're going to do is see the provisions of heaven open up for you. And when you dedicate your talent, you share your talent with others or with the world, and you give away that as well. You tithe that as well. Watch what will happen to your life. Try me in this, God says, and see if I won't open up. Test me, prove me in this, and see if I won't open up the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings more than you can contain. Consider that. Make the commitment and make the decision today. All right, my friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for being a part of One Love, this movement of loving awareness. And I hope that you'll have a wonderful week. I hear the music getting started. The ways to give, by the way, are going to be on the screen on our way out. Consider tithing to this ministry. If this feeds your soul through meditation and through message and music, share. Share and see what happens in your life. All right, the music's playing. I'm going to get going. I love you all. The keys to the kingdom. Go and make it a great week because